A weak boy with a useless skill gets betrayed by the only people he trusted. But after falling into the deepest dungeon in the world, he accidentally summons a level 9999 maid and begins his journey toward becoming one of the strongest beings alive. Light as he says goodbye to his family, with his goal to become an adventurer so that he can make their lives easier. He goes to a guild where the receptionist confirms that he's registering for the first time. So, she gives him the lowest rank F. She asks him if he has any gifts. So he reveals he has the power of unlimited gacha. But she doesn't understand what it is. He pulls out a mechanism that chooses a random card for him, revealing that he can bring to life any item that it lands on. But he gets a bent fork. He tries it again and ends up with only trash items. So, he mentions that it's not usually like this. But the girl thinks she made the right decision to give him the F rank. He asks her if there are any jobs he can accept right away. So she tells him they're posted on the board. She notices him having a hard time reading, and she mentions that it isn't unusual since humans have a low literacy. So, she tells him about a few of the easy jobs. He spends the whole day finishing the jobs, but he's disappointed since the money he earned will only allow him to buy a room for the night. So he hopes to get food from his gacha. He runs into a group of beast folk who knock him down, and it seems humans are looked down on in this world as the leader complains that he got his clothes dirty. So he takes all of Light's money. He tries to ask for it back, but they kick him away and leave him on the ground. An elf named Sasha tries to help him, but he gets scared when he realizes he got her dirty. So, she hugs him and calms him down. She introduces him to her party, and we see that they're all extremely high level. One of them, named Guru, notes that they're called the Concord of tribes, revealing that their goal is to form a party that has all 9 races, and they wish to create a world without discrimination, telling Light to join them since they need a human, and he happily accepts. After that, they go to the longest and toughest dungeon, called the Abyss, and as a monster is about to hit Light, one of the party members named Drago cuts it in half with his sword. Sasha takes another one out with her arrow, and she tells Light to be careful because he will die if he gets hit by anything. So he apologizes to her. The rest of the party start teasing her, saying that she's always taking care of Light, which makes her embarrassed. And she mentions that if something happens to him, it will make people think that they can't protect their own comrades. Drago tells him he doesn't need to worry about anything because he likes the tea that Light makes, so he's already doing enough for the party, which makes him happy. As they keep moving forward, all the party members suddenly stop, which makes Light think they're resting for a while. So he goes to make tea, but Drago tells him he's being banished from the party. He doesn't understand what's going on. So, they note that they're kicking him out because he's useless. They start insulting him, and he doesn't understand why they were being so nice to him before if they hated him. So, they reveal that their superiors were interested in his gift because they thought he could be a master. But he has no clue what they're saying. He's confused why anyone would be interested in the useless gift that he has. So, they note that they made a mistake in overhyping his abilities, which is why their superiors have ordered them to take care of him. Sasha is annoyed at how stupid he is, but she's glad that he isn't a master because she can't bear the thought of marrying an inferior race just to get their blood. Drago thinks that they have told him too much, but Gu notes that it doesn't matter because he won't be alive for much longer. He slashes Light's face with his claws, so he tries to get away, and they enjoy hearing him cry for help. Sasha shoots his leg while Gary continues beating him up, so he yells in pain even more, but they tell Gary to stop because they already agreed to make Light's death seem like he was attacked by monsters, so they shouldn't give him other injuries that contradict their story. Light tries to drag himself away from them, and he ends up activating a teleportation trap. So Drago tells Gary to make sure he doesn't escape, but before he can get to Light, he disappears in front of their eyes. Light realizes he was teleported to another part of the dungeon, and even though he's glad he managed to survive, he knows he will be killed the moment he runs into any monster. He thinks life isn't fair because he never did anything wrong to deserve what's happening to him, and he still can't believe he was betrayed by the people he believed were his friends. But instead of crying over it, he vows to eliminate all of them. A level 1000 monster appears behind him, and he can't believe his eyes, because it's the kind of thing people only hear about in stories. and he realizes he was teleported to the deepest part of the abyss. As the monster is about to attack him, he thinks about how he can't afford to die there because he won't be able to get revenge. He knows he has nothing to fight with other than his unlimited gacha, and as he tries to use it, he's surprised when a magic circle appears underneath him. He ends up summoning a maid named May, who easily tears the monster to pieces. And after that, she heals his injuries. She apologizes for touching him without his permission, saying she couldn't bear to see such a handsome face being scarred, and he's confused when she keeps calling him master. After she asks him for his name, she notes that under the code of a maid's honor, she pledges her loyalty to him and will serve him until her last breath. Light is confused by who she is. So, after getting his permission to introduce herself, she reveals that she's a level 9999 maid, who's a super ultra rare card that he pulled using his unlimited gacha. He thinks it's impossible for that to happen because his gift is basically worthless. So, there's no way someone as amazing as her came out of it. She asks him to let her use her appraisal skill to check his gift, and he thinks it's her gift that she can appraise things. But she mentions that it's just one of her innate skills. She scans his body and is surprised to see that most of his abilities are hidden under a layer of concealment, so anyone that isn't on her level wouldn't be able to see how amazing he is. She mentions that the card he pulls depends on the mana density around him, and even though mana is everywhere, its density is pretty low on the surface, so there would normally be no chance for him to pull her. But mana is abundant in the depths of the dungeon, which makes it easier to pull rare cards. She admires his bravery to come down to the deepest part of the abyss just to tap into the full potential of his gift, but he stops her from praising him even more since it wasn't his intention. He starts to cry and tells her what happened, and he can't believe the things they said to him because all he wanted was to support his family. She hugs him to calm him down, and she notes that with her powers at his disposal, getting revenge is a simple task. So, she tells him to give her an order, but he doesn't want her to do anything. He mentions that he was the one who put his trust in them and got betrayed. So, he needs to get stronger and get revenge with his own hands. He wonders if she thinks he's just being delusional, but she assures him that she will help him do anything he wants, which makes him happy. After 3 years, we see Light walking in a castle surrounded by an army of maids that he summoned. After being betrayed and left to die, Light finally discovers his true power, and after 3 years in the abyss, the boy who was once weak is about to return.